it's everything. Is in the same time is nothing. If you look about the story about the jeans, we really create something not existing in the market at the time. We introduced new shapes, introduced new treatment. It was an attitude. We changed completely the attitude of the jean. Jean is for 24-hour use. A 24-hour use is completed to bring the kids to the school after going to have a lunch with some kind of business proposition. Jeans today fit all the purpose during the day, even the night time. You could go out with a jean. Is it the last revolution of the jeans or the silhouette of the casual today? Is a question mark for me, no.
You should have heard that joke. All right, what's going on, man? It's your boy, Klothing, and I'm back with another video, man. Look for my starting, so I'm not going nowhere. Look. All right, so right off the bat, let me just say this. If you follow me on Instagram, which go follow me on Instagram, but if you follow me on Instagram, then you know last weekend I did my first run outside. That was a very humbling experience. But today, literally like 4 or 5 hours ago, I participated in a 5K. So literally from today and last week, I did maybe 3 runs to prepare for a 5K. Let me just say this, man. My legs feel like this.
Make it top, make it top, make it top.
It feel like all the meat, fat is gonna fall off the bone. My shins definitely hurt, but it was such a great experience, bro. If you never, went outside and did a run, I definitely recommend it. I'm not gonna sit here and say there's just some super holistic, healing properties, but it is dope just to get outside, be in fresh air, get some sunlight. And I was running with a bunch of people and just meeting different people. So overall, it was just a dope experience, just, participating in this 5K. And before I actually get into addressing what I want to talk about in this video, let me just bring up one more thing. I am so close to reaching that next stage of monetization for YouTube. So if you are watching this video, which if you're listening to me now, you are, please stay to the end of the video. It definitely helps small accounts like myself. But without further ado, let's get into this video. Now, I definitely believe I am a person who likes brands that people typically don't like, or brands that are no longer around and I still wear them. Now, there aren't many brands that have been able to keep my attention, especially brands from the past. Some off the top of my head that I can think about currently are Coogee is definitely a brand that still piques my interest. Fat Farm is a brand that still piques my interest. And I want to say Ed Hardy is a brand that still keeps my interest. Actually, if you follow me on Instagram, I took these pictures right here, and the balaclava that I'm currently wearing in that picture is from Ed Hardy. And it sucks because I feel like a lot of these brands, such as a Coogee, such as a Fat Farm, and such as an Ed Hardy, were just ahead of their time. Although they did have peak season during the early 2000s and the late 90s, I feel like had those brands come out now, just because of where streetwear currently stands, I think they would have been just as successful, if not better or more successful than they were previously. But there is one brand that's been able to keep my interest no matter what stage in life I'm currently in, whether it be middle school, high school, college, and well into adulthood. There is one brand that stands above them all. And that brand is going to be none other than Marithé François Girbaud. And listen to this pronunciation if I said it wrong.
Marithé François Girbaud is how it's said in French.
Throughout this video, when I refer to the brand, I'm going to be saying MFG just because saying Marithé François Girbaud is just too long. And I feel like I will get caught up on my words. But again, this is just a brand that when I got hip to it when I was in middle school, seeing my older cousins and my older brother rock it, that is when I think about fashion in the early 2000s. I think of Girbaud. That has been etched into my mind, especially the Shuttle jean, which there's no way I can make a video referring to MFG and not bring up the Shuttle jean. The Shuttle jean, especially in the US, I don't know what it was because this is a UK based brand. I don't know what the hype for the brand was in the UK, but in the US, I speak for the majority when I say the Shuttle jean is what really had people going crazy for MFG, whether it be the Hot Boys with Lil Wayne, whether it be with big time rappers in New York, everyone, whether it be from the West Coast to the East Coast, had a pair of Shuttle jeans, and they've been able to have their longevity because I just got a comment on one of my shorts where I talked about the jacket that I picked up, which is the one I'm wearing. Someone said, I want to say it was either China or Japan, that they're having like a boom in people rocking MFG. So like this brand has been able to withstand the test of time. And as I already mentioned, this jacket is from MFG. This is actually a collaboration they did with the brand Closed. This jacket is just so dope. And I think it really speaks to what the brand MFG was doing in the, the 80s, the 90s, and well into like the early 2000s. Like they were just taking things such as staples like a denim jacket and just reimagining it. And they're doing it at a time when people really weren't doing things to, like, people were creating dope things and silhouettes and all that. But like when it came to denim, it was very much so still traditional with how people were creating denim or reimagining denim. Before I actually get to talking about this jacket, I do want to bring up one thing, because I was today years old. As somebody who likes the brand, I was today years old when I found out that Marithé François Girbaud is comprised of two people. I thought that was one person's name, just how it reads on like the labels and the tag, but that is two people. And I know I'm going to butcher their names, so sorry. But the first part, Marithé, is Marithé Bachelorelli. Again, I know I'm saying that wrong, but that is one person. The second person being François Girbaud. If I just found that out, I know if you're watching this video, you're probably like, oh. So that was just a dope little nugget that I picked up. But again, this brand started out based in the UK, came out in like the, mid, later years of like the 80s. And they were just doing things that people just couldn't imagine to do with denim. And actually, François Girbaud is actually accredited for being the first person to create the process for stonewashed denim. Now, there are, I want to say, 3 people who have that same credit, because something like creating stonewashed denim, it's kind of hard to like trace back to a singular person and point in time. But he is one of the people who are accredited for, creating the process to create stonewashed denim, which is just like, that is just something as simple as stonewashed denim, which is like a staple in most people's closets today. Just like, it's crazy to think that somebody prior to stonewashed denim booming, somebody thought about like, how do I create stonewashed denim without actually having to wear the pants? Because stonewashed denim is basically almost giving that worn look to denim. So it's just crazy that somebody was like, how do I make this on a large enough scale to where it looks natural? And somebody came up with the idea. I feel like in today's time, we're a little bit spoiled, because a lot of these brand owners are either being featured on podcasts, or some of them might have their own podcast, or they're doing a bunch of interviews just talking about their process, talking about, their views on their brand, but also like brands globally or what's happening in the fashion space. But as I was trying to just do a deep dive to figure out what this brand is about, or just get more information from the owners and just see what their perspective was when it was creating denim or just creating in general, there's just not much out there. Honestly, it was even hard to even find pictures of these two together. Like, yeah, there's some pictures, but most of them are just repeats of things from the same event. Like, they actually weren't really vocal. And I found maybe a few pieces of footage where some of them were talking, or I want to say François Girbaud was more so outward speakingly, but like, there's just not much media talking about this brand. And I feel like the answer to that could simply be as simple as, I live in the US and this brand is based in the UK. But just given the times that we currently live in, like with the internet, I should be able to find, articles, or I should be able to find pieces where the brand owners were talking about, the company. But like, there just isn't much media out there. And when I refer to media, whether it be interviews, commercials, news articles, or, a blog, like there isn't much media covering the brand MFG in general. Like, I know MFG from the era of like hip hop from like the late 90s into the early 2000s. But like, again, being in the US, that's all you got exposed to. And this brand, as I just go on Grailed or Depop or eBay, that brand did so much more for fashion than just the Shuttle jeans, which those are great, because even to this day, people are still replicating the Shuttle jean. As I mentioned before on YouTube Shorts, Capital did their own version of the Shuttle jean. Tombago did their own version of the Shuttle jean. Lil Yachty did his own version of the Shuttle jean. It is very much so a brand that is still talked about and still being replicated because, again, at the time, no one else was doing this. And I almost feel bad because the company did end up having to file for bankruptcy in 2012. But it's like, again, I feel like with the brand MFG, they were almost too ahead of their time. I almost feel like had they come out now, similar to as I spoke about Ed Hardy or Fat Farm, had they come out now, they would have almost had the same reaction within the streetwear fashion community that they did back then. Because again, everything's baggy. Everything, you know, people are rocking denim, trying to find the right denim. People are looking for unique standout pieces. So maybe I'm going a little too far to say like they would have had the same impact because, you know, the late 90s and early 2000s, it was definitely a little bit more exaggerated with the baggy. But like me personally, as I see throughout the world, people are still rocking Girbaud jeans. And even if they're not the Shuttle jean, people are still rocking Girbaud. And I didn't even know this, but like how many people subtly wore Girbaud that were very impactful for the community. So let's say, for example, Tupac. Tupac has been spotted on many occasions rocking Girbaud, on whether it be the denim right here, or whether it be him in court right here wearing a Girbaud shirt. Like people have subtly been rocking Girbaud for a very long time. And who's more impactful than Tupac within the culture? We talking culture. And one more person for you when we talk about culture within the fashion streetwear community. Who's more popular than Michael Jordan? I mean, Jordan's literally is the culture or the locus for streetwear and sneaker culture. Like Jordan is that person. So if Jordan right here in this picture is wearing a full Girbaud set, it's just crazy to me that like how subtly the brand Girbaud has been displayed without really being so outwardly spoken out about, other than like the Shuttle jeans. Now I've been yapping, but I want to showcase this jacket because I think this jacket just speaks to what I think is missing when it comes to just fashion in today's time. So as we just go through a tour of this jacket, as you can see, it has like this cord collar here being this bright yellow. And then it's just a simple, basic denim jacket that just feels so dope. The silhouette and the shape on this jacket is actually what I love. And this jacket is exactly how I want my denim jackets to fit. How I want all my jackets to fit. Honestly, like this jacket is so dope and it's a staple. The color on it is always going to be in season, no matter if denim goes out of style. Like this is just one of those pieces that can stay in your closet for a very long time. And if you watch my YouTube short, then you already know what I'm about to expose here. This jacket is reversible, bro. So as I pull out the sleeves right here, showcasing the inner sides, you see that it has that red and that green being one of my favorite colors. And then it almost has the MFG print on it. Like this is fire. You get a 2-for-1. So you get a denim jacket, but then you also just get like a typical canvas jacket that has just the shape that I love when it comes to jackets, bro. So this is just one of those pieces I know is going to be in my closet for a very long time. Like there's no debate about it, bro. Like this jacket is just fire. This is like one of the brands that like stood the test of time in my life. Like, again, I remember being in middle school, wanting a pair of Girbauds. I remember in high school seeing Girbaud at the thrift and being able to get a pair. College, I had a pair. And then even in this video right here, this is like 2021. Even in this video right here, I am showcasing my collection. Not just one, not just two pairs, but my full collection of Girbaud jeans or Girbaud pants. So as you can see, I got the Shuttle jeans. I wish I never grew out of these pants. Those were like the best pair in that video. I had a pair of shorts. I had some sweatpants. Like, these are fire, bro. This is just one of those brands. This turned into a full yap session of me just talking about a brand that I feel like doesn't really necessarily get the respect that they deserve, because they were doing and innovating at a time where people were sticking to like very traditional things, especially when it came to denim. Like, Girbaud is just one of those brands, bro, that like I employ all of you to go to Grilled or Depop if you have the app, or even eBay, and just go through a search and see what they were doing, bro. Like, so there's another jacket like mine right here that I found on Grilled that has like a green and yellow, which I would love that jacket. But I got one. I'm not trying to be greedy. So if somebody else wants that, that is a free lob. Even this bag and the design for this bag is very, very trendy to this day. Like, this is, again, and I'm going through this leather jacket, and as I'm going through and seeing all the pieces that they like, it's almost getting me worked up, because like, this is why I like fashion. Like, brands like this who do things out of the box. I don't like the ordinary. I don't like anything that looks like anything else. Like, this jacket just feels like very different, and I know no one else is rocking this when I go outside. And there's a lot of things from this brand on these secondary markets that are just so fire. And if I just had all the money in the world, I would buy so many of these pieces from MFG, just because you're not seeing that on a day-to-day, and you will stand out, and you will get questions, you will get comments. People are trying to figure out, where do I get that jacket? Like, that's just this brand is just one of those brands that like is definitely in the if you know, you know type thing. Like, again, I could keep rambling on and on about MFG, just because that is one of my favorite brands of all time. It's been able to stand the test of time. The fact that I'm still investing in this brand and they filed for bankruptcy in 2012, like, it just shows and speaks volumes to what they were able to do. And I hope they do get their resurgence back into like the fashion scene, because I know they're still operating in certain countries, but they're not really doing it up to the extent that they used to. And I wish they would, because they were some of the people, they were the pioneers in this like denim game, or in the fashion game, like just creating and changing the perspective from like traditional fashion. Now, I have to address my two biggest mistakes when it comes to the brand MFG, and it's missing out on these two pieces. One, this piece right here, I wish I could rewind the clock back to 2021 and I would have bought this jacket immediately, bro. I don't know what it is about it. Like, it's such a simple jacket, but the fact that it's MFG and the fact that like it has that shape that I love when it comes to jackets, I wish I did not sleep. I wish I did not sleep on this piece, because somebody bought it and I have never seen it again. I haven't seen it on any other platform, whether it be Depop, eBay, Grilled. No one's selling it. I really think that's like the last one in its making. And I'm just so frustrated I did not get that jacket. Oh, man. It feels bad. Number two being these pants, bro. Again, I don't know why after on the first time I didn't learn my lesson, but these pants, I wish I was able to get them. And again, it's just different. It's unique. It stands out. It's nothing that I've seen before. Like, these pants are just really fire. And from the pictures that I've seen on Grilled, they just look like they will fit how I would want them to fit. And again, similar to the jacket, I haven't seen it resurface again. I haven't seen it on any other platform, eBay, Grilled, Depop. Like, I'm going to stop doing this. But if you have it, tap in with your boy, man. Tap in with your boy. Let me get that jacket and let me get those pants. I will be set. There are certain pieces that I'm not going to show on camera because I can't let y'all do that. Can't let y'all do that. Y'all not about to do that to me. But the other ones that I've shown in this video, I'll get those up because, like, you know, those are just great pieces and I don't really think I'll get them. But there is two pieces. I'm not showing those on camera. Y'all gonna have to catch them on me whenever I decide to buy them. But other than that, no. The sad thing about it is a lot of these greater pieces, whether it be like this piece or other pieces that I've showcased in this video, a lot of the better pieces just aren't in the US. So if you are someone based in the US looking for, you know, the better pieces from MFG, you're probably gonna have to buy it from another country because you just can't find certain, like, I feel like the only thing that got transported to the US was simply like some hoodies, tracksuits, the Shuttle jeans, and like that's where it stopped. But the more avant-garde things are like the things that I personally like now, you have to go to another country, whether it be in the UK, whether it be in Japan, whether it be in Korea. Like, those are where the better pieces are, unfortunately. And if you do have a more of an interest for the brand itself, there is an account that's on Instagram, and I believe he's on YouTube, Constant Practice. He posts some of the craziest MFG pieces I've seen. So although I do find a lot of great pieces from MFG on Grilled and Depop, if you want to follow the account Constant Practice, this dude finds some of the craziest archive pieces. And I think he kind of upcharges it because he knows what it is. But like, he posts some of the dopest pieces from them, and also just adds to like their overall greatness as a brand, because the pieces that he posts on his page, if I could get those, yeah. I don't even know where I was going with that. I just got like a little sense of jealousy because he gets such dope pieces from the brand. This is literally I don't know, what is it at 29 minutes or 28 minutes? This is turned into a full-blown yap session about a brand that I really love. But again, when you have a passion for something that you really don't see other people having a passion for, it's just interesting because like this brand is doing dope things, or they were doing dope things. And if you reach into their archives and you find pieces on Grilled or Depop or Instagram or something like that, like you'll see like they are so much more than the MFG Shuttle jeans. Like they are so much more than that. And when I actually started looking more into the brand and, you know, figuring out like they were doing things like this with this jacket in the 80s, they were doing things like this. It just like, it just goes to show like what they were about, changing the game, being innovative, not really sticking to like the typical and the norm. Like they were actually wanting to produce things that were dope. And it's just crazy to me. Like this is just one of those brands that I will always love and I will always buy pieces from. Because even though I can't fit these jeans, like I can't fit them like I used to, but they're always going to be here. I mean, the quality on them, the overall design on them, like I just feel like these will always get a revisit. So there might be a period of time where like they're not in style, but then 10 years later, because, you know, fashion is on a cycle, they come back in style. And it's like, wow, I've been having these jeans for a long time. But yeah, I didn't really plan for this video to be this long. I can't make a short video to save my life. But when you, I don't know, it's something about just talking about something that you really enjoy, such as MFG, like it just kind of happened. But yeah, what is the question that I have for you guys this time? If you made it this far in this video, go ahead and like this video, go ahead and leave a comment. But what is that one brand that you just absolutely love? Like you love it, you always go spend money on it, but you don't really see a lot of people having the same love for that brand. Because I'm always curious what other people are wearing. I'm always just curious about a lot of things because, you know, if you're watching my videos, and I'm curious about what you rock, you know, what sneakers, what clothes, what fat, like, so what brand do you rock currently, or a brand that you love that you don't necessarily see people getting the love that you have for it, if that makes sense? Go ahead and comment below. But without further ado, like I always do, I'll catch y'all in the next one.
But I love the way you work it. Ay, I love the way you work it for me.